welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to another video. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you know we do have new wheels. We have finally got everything we need to put them on the car. We got the rubber, we got the rims themselves. I ended up needing different lug nuts. Luckily I looked before I was ready to put them on the car because the stock set and my Gorilla ones that I have for the spacers that I put on the car actually do not fit. It was deceiving. I put in another video that they might have fit. I wasn't 100% sure, but after actually testing one, they were too fat, so I had to order some ones for aftermarket wheels, a little skinnier. I'll show you that as we put the wheels on. But today we are going to go put them on. It is still pouring rain. I don't know if you guys can hear it out there with me blabbing, but it is pouring rain. The cold is pretty much gone. That's why I'm going to put them on the car. I've waited long enough. You guys have waited long enough. So let's flip you around. Hopefully everything fits and we'll be laughing. All right, so I'm just going to show you because things can be deceiving, and fingers crossed that these things actually fit on the car. I went with a 35-inch sidewall. It is a little thicker. Most people with a 20-inch rim, especially because the car is lowered. It's lowered 1.12 in the front and 1 inch in the rear. It sits pretty dang low. With the setup with the 20s and the 35 sidewall, these tires are almost a full inch taller than what's on the car right now. So, like I said, fingers crossed. Hopefully they fit in. You can see when it sits like this, how much taller it actually is. It's above the fender even. If you go straight across, you're just above the midpoint in this flat section for your fender. So they should fit, because if my math is right, these, like I said, are almost a full inch higher than the other one, but that's measured straight up and down your wheel. So technically, once it's bolted to the hub, you should only end up with a 1/2 inch up top, and the other half would be below because it's measured center point. So hopefully they fit, but we'll get her jacked up, get these other babies off the car, and see if the new meat fits. And also, I did mention this in another video, but these tires that we picked up, they are the Firestone Firehawks. They're Indy 500s, and you can see that the little wavy line here, the zigzag on this side, are pointing up and out. You can see the zigzags on this side are pointing down and out. Your tire is not backwards. It's not a directional tire, so you don't have to have them facing the same way. This is actually an in and out tire. So what that means is the little notches here, little cutouts, are in, and the zigzag part is out. It doesn't matter whether it's facing up or down, it's just got to be outside. That's why they are technically looking backwards from each other, but that is the way they are designed to work. If you have a directional tire, then depending which way you put them on, which way they roll, this would be on the outside, and then this side would have to be facing the same. So they would flip it, and that would actually end up on the inside of your rim, which you don't ever notice any of this from the outside of the car anyways, unless you're looking underneath. But just keep in mind, if you got directional tires, before you mount them on the car, make sure they are sitting the right way. All right, so I'll just show you guys quickly front and backs before we get them on the car. This is our winter tire that I just took off. This is our front. You can see it is just a smidge taller, not a huge amount in the front, so I'm not too worried about them fitting, but the back will be a different story. All right, and these are the rears. This is a 275 with a 40, 19 as well. This is our 20 with the 305, 35 sidewall. And as you can see, just slightly taller than the front compared to the winter ones we got here. So measurement wise, this is 27 inches, this is 28 inches. So you gain an inch on the rear, a little less than an inch up front, but size-wise, side by side, you can see 305 is much meatier than the 275, but we'll see how she looks once we get her on the car. All right, I didn't want to bore you guys with putting the wheels on, but they do fit. You can see, here's the back, pretty tight, but luckily on the Mustangs, the section in the middle here, the fender's actually rolled. So any bumps we might hit, the wheel will go in, and because of the roll, on the fender. It shouldn't rub. If we come to the front, I will show you from around here. The fronts are tucked in more than the rear, obviously, but I would rather have that. Gives you more clearance for sharp turns and stuff. And if you actually look at the front that we have, this has the spacer on it still and everything, just slightly further out, but pretty dang close to where I wanted it. So we'll get this side up, get the wheels on, then hopefully the rain stops by then. I'll take her outside, get you guys some shots of what she looks like. Everybody, so they are on the car. Everything ended up fitting like you've seen. The sun is actually trying to peek out a little bit, so we lucked out. We're not out here testing them first thing in the rain. It was drizzling a bit on the way up here, so they're already filthy. Black car problems, doesn't stop, goes right to the rims as well. But you can see in the back, very tight. This is what I was going for. You can see, can just barely squeeze my finger in there. Does not rub. You can see on the tire, I did boot it a couple times just to get the load down on the back, make sure when it flexes it doesn't actually hit the rubber. And by the looks of it, from what I can see here, no issues. That being said, the fenders are rolled on these cars, so that is a big help. If it was not and you had a sharp edge in there, it would most likely rub a little bit when you're stomping on it, but very tight. Small, or tighter than what I had on with the stock rims originally. Then if we move up to the front, you've seen when the car was in the garage how it's just slightly tucked in. You can see obviously I have the wheel turned here, but the reason I got it slightly smaller in the front is because of the turning radius. Not so much the height in the front. The front of these cars is slightly higher than the rear, even though mine is lowered it more in the front than in the rear, but it was still slightly higher, so I wasn't worried about the height wise. I was more width wise. What I mean by that is, yes, you are close here. You can see that is pretty close when the wheel is turned. The back not so much, doesn't matter, but more so when you take a sharp corner, you would hit your suspension and different components inside if your rim is too wide. When you take a corner, you're actually going to hit the inside lip, not so much the outside lip on the front. But from what I can see, they fit pretty dang good. So first time driving on these tires as well. And like I said, when I was leaving home, it was still a little bit rainy. And of course, new tires in the rain. And I got used to my winter tires over the last few months. These were a little bit slick, but stay tuned. We are going to do a full review on those. And my initial driving thoughts on these. These are 20s compared to the 19s. So stay tuned for all those videos. Hopefully you like this one. Let me know what you guys think of the new setup, and drop a like and a thumbs up, and hopefully we guys catch you in the next one.